Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George here, and today I have the pleasure of going through the 25 Forester Sport with all of you. This happens to be in the crystal black silica, and I actually think it's my favorite color of sport. The bronze accents really pop on the black, and that is one of the aesthetic differences with the Sport. We end up with highlights in bronze. We do also get these 19-inch wheels in the painted bronze. I think they're very sharp looking. Same wheels as the Premier, just in the bronze paint. Redesign year for the 25 Forester. Updated exterior, interior, drivetrain. The 2.5 liter, sorry, 4-cylinder boxer engine. You get 180 horsepower, down 2 horsepower from 24. I can't say I noticed it while driving it. They've switched to 0W16 oil from 0W20. That's the reason. Front of the Forester Sport, gloss black hexagonal shaped grille. You're going to notice a lot of hexagonal design language in the Forester. Even inside that hexagon, we have more hexagonal texture. And that just seems to be the shape that they're going with. New fog lights, updated headlights. There's still LEDs and steering responsive, very, very bright. I'll show you that as we do that exterior walk around at the end of the video that I always do of what the headlights and fog lights look like. Still have 8.7 inches of ground clearance, so more than your standard half-ton pickup truck. We've got the black cladding around the wheel arches, a la Subaru, very, very typical. Functional vents. We have black painted mirror caps with the integrated turn signals on them. Now the Sport and the Premier get the low profile roof rails with the black end caps. So that's not just because it's a black Forester Sport, that's just how they come. And so you can't get the OEM crossbars for these, but you can get Thule aftermarket crossbars sold through your Subaru dealer for those, or of course you can always find your own. But still that boxy Forester that we all know, if you put this next to a previous gen and a previous gen to that, it's definitely an evolution of the Forester. Fuel door is still on the passenger side. They've definitely increased the size of it. It's actually quite large. They've moved the badging to Sport badging, symmetrical, it's bronze. New taillights, you have half a hexagon, it says Subaru, it wraps around. This is a black painted strip on all of them, through the logo or around the logo to the other side, where you have the other half of a hexagon. So hexagonal design language everywhere. We've got Forester debossed into the tailgate, which you see in a lot of pickups. I think Tacoma, Tundra, F-150s. They've really elevated the design of the Forester on this. Down below, more hexagonal design language. We've got backup sensors integrated into the rear bumper. They'll apply the brakes if it thinks you're going to hit something in reverse between speeds of 1 and 15 kilometers an hour. And the new kick gate. So keys in my pocket, kick, back up, it beeps and opens. Now you have to back up or it won't open. It has to sense that key moving away. Lots of room behind the second row seats, very tall, wide, and deep. With that boxy square rear end of the Forester, you get a ton of storage. We've got this nice privacy cover that hides everything from the top of the seats down. Really easy to use, nice integrated handle. This secondary portion right here is adjustable because these second row seats, you can tilt. So of course, if this was fixed back there, you couldn't do that. We have grocery bag hooks on either side. And we've got a 12-volt power point. Now Subaru's added some nice little Easter eggs in the vehicle, like that telescope. They've got a bunch of other ones. I'll point some of them out to you. The hard tie downs. Cargo tray with a topographical map. This is where the cargo tray can be put across. We have some storage. And underneath here, we've got a spare tire and tools, which I hope none of you ever need to use. You do also get the upgraded Harman Kardon audio system in the Sport now, which is very nice. We have an LED cargo light and an LED cargo light in the hatch. Those both shut off, that and that shut off when you close the hatch. We have an integrated compass, and the one that took me the longest to find were the mountains on the back window. They're hard to see from the outside looking in, but they are there. Now, to close this, you can pull down, you can press the button, you can lock and close it, you can use the key fob, you can use the button by the driver's knee, or if your hands are full, you grab something out of the back, kick motion, and back up. It beeps 3 times, and on the 3rd time, it closes, which is very, very handy. Second row. We've got a lot of room. Lots of headroom, lots of legroom. You can easily fit 3 passengers comfortably across in here. Now in the Sport, it's not cloth, it's not leather. This is their StarTech Soft Touch all-weather upholstery. Started out in the 2019, we saw it first in 2019 and has continued through. Contrast stitching, very, very comfortable. It's kind of like a neoprene, easy to wipe down. It shouldn't absorb spills. So that's the idea. For someone who lives an active lifestyle, this is probably the perfect material. We do have exceptionally easy access to the latch system, the lower anchors and tethers for children. I was a little concerned with these not being covered, that they would jam into my back. So far, that doesn't seem to be the case, which I'm actually quite thankful for. Now, these seats, as I mentioned, reclinable. So you pull and you lean back. In my case, I use my elbow, and you can see it reclines a bit. It's not like you're reclining in a lazy boy, but it might be enough for someone to get comfortable and take a nap on a trip. And you just pull it up, pull that, and it's locked in place. Now, if you want to fold them down, we've got that. And of course, it depends how far back that front seat's reclined, but virtually flat, which is nice. Up one-handed, and essentially, if you can see red, it's not locked in place. Out of the center console, we have vents. In addition to the vents underneath the front seats facing rearward, so you've got a lot of airflow to the second row. We have 2 USBs that are illuminated when the lights are turned on, and that's for charging, no music capability through that. We've got 3 map back pockets on the backs of both front seats. We have this textured step with the Subaru stars, and that is designed to be used as a step if you're loading something on the roof rails, on the crossbars when you get those. And the reason they want that is that's pretty much dead center of the rack system where you're going to be reaching. If you're standing on the tire, one, the tire sits inside the fender. You're not going to get as much of your foot on that. And if I'm standing on it, center of mass right here at the end, I'm probably going to end up leaning, possibly putting myself in a precarious situation. That's why they've done that. We do also have this little black slot, and I get asked about that quite a bit. More often on the lighter colored cars because it stands out than on the darker colored cars, but that's what this extra side impact crash safety bar, that silver peg, locks into, and that is designed to stop intrusion into the passenger cab in the event of a side collision. Subaru's all about safety. We've got soft touch door card, soft touch armrest. Even where you put your thumb when you're closing the door, grabbing the door handle, it's soft touch, which is nice. We've got a little bit of storage with a bottle holder, and should you need it, child lock. Now, it's important to note that child lock is not tied to that door. They're individual, so if you are expecting both, you have to do both doors. Nice solid sounding doors. I don't know if the mic picked that up, so let's do that again. Not tinny like a lot of the other vehicles out there when you close them. Front door handle, it is a proximity key. Key just has to be on your person. To lock it, we have these lines, keys in my pocket, within 46 inches. Touch the lines, there's a small audible chirp, the hazards flash, and it's locked. And I pulled on the driver handle, pulled on the passenger. To unlock it, same thing, key has to be within 46 inches. Simply put your hand in the handle and it unlocks. Do not grab the lines, do not touch the lines with your thumb and grab the handle. It confuses it. Front door card's pretty much the same. This is just plastic from shipping. This is piano black, gloss black. Harman Kardon audio system again, of course, and they've got little boot prints right there. We've got storage and a bottle holder. Driver's seat is, of course, power with lumbar support, and it's the same seating material up front as it is in the second row. These seats are specially designed by Subaru to put you in a more relaxed position to reduce fatigue over longer driving distances. I've done a couple longer trips in the Crosstrek that have these same seats. Pretty comfortable, and I would say they do what they're advertised to do. So comfort's obviously subjective. Go down to your local dealership, sit in one, see what you think. I think they're super comfortable. I really like the StarTex material. I think the StarTex is the most comfortable material in our lineup. By the driver's left knee, we've got the ability to open the rear hatch. We've got a scroll wheel for the brightness of the gauges, and we can turn off that proximity kick sensor for the hatch if you wanted. On the inside, keys in my pocket, foot's on the brake light goes green. Green means go. We have our blind spot detection indicators on each side mirror, so they illuminate orange on either side when someone's in your blind spot on the corresponding side. Not a replacement for shoulder checking, but it's a nice assist. And actually, speaking of visibility, like that's me shoulder checking. It's fantastic. They've increased the size of that third rear window back there, and it's done its job. They've improved upon the visibility of the previous Forester by far. Now, steering wheel itself, leather wrapped, bronze contrast stitching, bronze centerpiece. It's heated. We've got some piano black accents around the edge here. And the left-hand side of the steering wheel, We have our Bluetooth and audio controls. You can accept calls, hang up or decline calls, issue voice commands, or access Google Assistant or Siri. We've got our volume control, left to right. This toggle now changes our small little upper display here. That gives us different information depending on what we want to look at. Source switches from AM to FM to satellite to USB to Bluetooth, etc. Switch between presets. We do have paddle shifters, downshift and upshift. We can manually select our own gears with the automatic CVT, which is nice. The right-hand side, we have our adaptive cruise and our lane centering. Both of those use these 3 black boxes, those color stereo EyeSight cameras, to look for cyclists, road lines, pedestrians, and other vehicles. The previous EyeSight system in the Forester didn't have this third one. This is a new addition that increases the field of view from left to right for the cameras, makes it more responsive, and these do automatic emergency braking. Saves you 10% on your basic insurance here, which is fantastic. Now, when I turn on the cruise, I get an image of the Forester there, and you'll see there's 3 bars ahead of it. Now there's 4. The bars indicate the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you that you will follow at if you catch up while using cruise. I can increase or decrease. I can decrease the follow distance, increase. 4 bars is the max. 4 bars going 100 kilometers an hour is roughly 150 to 180 feet behind the vehicle ahead of you. So a good safe distance. As they slow down, you'll get a little closer to them. It's a ratio. Lane centering, turn that on. I get the little steering wheel and hands there. Above 60 kilometers an hour, if the road lines can be seen by our EyeSight cameras, so it's not ideal for winter, those gray lines on either side will illuminate white. Whether it can see one side or both, it'll illuminate the corresponding side. And then it will give you gentle steering input to keep you centered in your lane. Absolutely fantastic. I didn't think I would like either pieces of these technology coming from older vehicles and not being used to it. Best thing ever. Get your salesperson to give you a demo of how it works. We have intelligent and sport sharp drive modes. So you can see down here, bottom left, it says P for park. Just to the right of it says I for intelligent. Sport sharp, and you can see that that pink line is a little bit more aggressive. You're gonna go faster, sooner. You're gonna sit at a higher PM. You're gonna use more fuel, but it's for more spirited driving. It does default to intelligent drive mode, just so you're aware. Steering wheel adjustment. Bottom left of the steering column, we've got both tilt and telescopic, so you can suit it to drivers of varying seating positions. We've got an 11.6-inch touchscreen infotainment system, and they kind of broken it into, I'll call it 3 parts. Top portion, we've got access to dual function X mode, which is like 4-low in a pickup. So you have to be going under 20 kilometers an hour to engage it. We have snow and dirt mode, X mode, and deep snow and mud, which also deactivates traction control and allows for excess wheel spin to chew you out of the situation you've got in. Only works up to 40 kilometers an hour. After that, it kicks out, goes back to regular all-wheel drive because that's more efficient at higher speeds. We've got weather as part of our satellite radio trial. We have widgets or gauges, and you can change what you're looking at to a reasonable degree. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I do the same ones over and over and over again, because that's what most people like. Then we have what we're listening to, whether that's FM, AM, Sirius XM in this case, Bluetooth, auxiliary. It tells you what you're listening to, which is nice. 4 ways, still covered in the sticker. We've got physical volume and tuning knobs, which are very nice. Radio, media, and phone are pretty self-explanatory. Media is anything that's not integrated into the vehicle, so USB, auxiliary, Bluetooth, that's all media. Phone allows you to hook up to 5 phones. You can also do that from that button there. Under apps, we have wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay, and you do gain access to the My Subaru app after the vehicle's registered in your name. You get those setup emails. You can turn off the display, you can turn on valet mode, you've got car info, you can set maintenance reminders. You've got lots of options here. There is a second screen. You can activate auto vehicle hold there, or down there, which is a brake holder for construction drive through or rush hour traffic. You can turn off traction control, and you can add additional shortcuts if there's somewhere in the settings menu that you go to often. This button always takes us home. No matter what screen you're on, that takes you home. Little Monopoly house or open envelope. We've got a little car there, gives us vehicle control, driving assistance settings. You can change the digital speedometer to miles per hour, change the warning volumes. You've got lots of options there. Activate auto vehicle hold, deactivate auto start stop, which you have to defaults to on. That's just the government thing. Then we've got a climate control, and it is dual zone, and it ranges pretty drastically. You can go down to 15 and up to, let's call it 29.5, 30. Easy to sync it back to driver controlled. We can do it from the buttons. We can do it on the screen. We can simply click. We can control where we want our airflow. If we want AC on, big fan strength buttons. And then there's 3 stages of heated seats for both the driver and the passenger. Now, some people don't know this. If you've got your seat on high and you just don't want your heated seat on anymore, press and hold, shuts it completely off. And that's both driver and passenger. You don't want climate at all, shut it off. Heated mirrors, heated back window, and windshield wiper de-icer. So where your wipers sit on the windshield up front there's a heating element. So your windshield wipers don't stick in the winter. It's great. You go through less sets of wipers. When you put it in reverse, camera pops up, rear assist braking's on, parking sensors are on, top of the bumper's there, and you can clean the backup camera from inside the vehicle, which is the best thing ever for our sloppy winters. Below that, 2 USBs, an auxiliary, and a wireless charger. I like what they've done with the transmission tunnel here. This is soft touch, so if you ever have to rest your leg on there, it's not going to hurt as much as previous generations might. We have an automatic CVT with the manual mode. As I'd mentioned, you can use the paddles to select your own gears. Nice synthetic shifter boot with more contrast stitching. Park brake is electronic, so pull up to activate, foot on the brake, and push down to deactivate. We have a 12-volt power point, some nice offset cup holders. We have a little storage cubby. That is rubberized down there, by the way. And we've got a nice soft touch armrest. Now, there's no power points in there, but there's a lot of storage, and there is a place to run cords out of if you needed to have something in there, battery bank or something, so you don't crush them. We have an auto-dimming rear view mirror, so no switch to flick, just dims automatically if someone's got their brights on behind you. Your side mirrors are also auto-dimming, and they're tied to this, which is nice. Integrated compass. And we have the HomeLink system, so you can hook up to 3 separate garage doors to this mirror. You don't have to carry a bulky garage door opener on your sun visor in your bag. You just don't have to have it, which is nice. You don't even have to have it to set it up. You just need access to the garage door motor. We have our sunroof control, our sliding sunroof. We've got LED map lights. I'm just going to open the shade manually. I'm not going to open the glass, but it's a sliding panoramic sunroof. It extends fairly far into the second row, like decent amount. Which is nice, really opens it up. We've got sunglass storage, door light switch, SOS and roadside assistance. That's part of the 3-year trial to the My Subaru connected services you get with most new Subarus. SOS gets you help, roadside assistance, and concierge service through that one. We've got card holders on both the sun visors, and these sun visors are quite large. Vanity mirror with light. Extend it to the side. You do have an extender on each of them, which is nice. Stops you from being blinded on each side. Another little Easter egg. We've got a little bird. There's several of the birds around here. So that's a look at the interior of it. So that is a quick look at the 2025 Subaru Forester Sport in the crystal black silicon. Of course, I've got it running right now. I've got the headlights on, steering responsive LEDs with high beam assist, and those new fog lights. I don't really think that this camera is doing it justice. They're quite bright at night, and I think that they look absolutely fantastic. It's the Forester that we all know and love with some definite improvements. Very, very comfortable. Everyone who has upgraded so far has told me they've been very, very happy with it. No negatives, no drawbacks versus the previous generation in any of my clients' opinions at this point. So thank you for sticking with me for my walkthrough of the 2025 Subaru Forester Sport. I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. If you guys have any questions about this Forester Sport that I'm in, any of the tech in it, something you saw in the video that I didn't elaborate fully on, or you have a question about, please put it in the comments below. Love hearing from you guys. Love getting your questions. And if you're in British Columbia or close enough for British Columbia to make the trip to pick up a Subaru, please reach out to me directly. I would love to help you find your perfect car. Again, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll talk soon.